If you're a fan of modding Game Boy consoles, then you no doubt have run across a YouTuber by the name of the Retro Future. I'm sure you're familiar with some of his incredibly creative mods, such as the Long Boy, the left-handed DMG, and this, the dual-screen Game Boy Advance SP. While these mods have typically been custom one-off creations, the dual-screen SP was turned into a limited edition mod kit through a collaboration between Elliot of the Retro Future and Jelly Belly Customs. And I just so happen to have one. Let's take a look. Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Tito and welcome to another episode of Retro Renew. Now today we have a really unique mod that I'll be doing to the Game Boy Advance SP. I'm going to be giving it another screen. Yes, a dual screen Game Boy Advance SP. But before we get started, if you're new to the channel, we explore really awesome mods for our retro video game consoles. So if that's something you're interested in, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications so that you're up to date with all of my latest content. So if you don't know, Elliot of the Retro Future did a really awesome video where he modded a Game Boy Advance SP so that it has two screens. If you haven't seen that video, you can check it out by clicking on the card at the top of your screen, and I'll also have it linked in the description below. Now, one of the things we learned from watching Elliot's video is that this mod is extremely difficult. It requires you to solder 34 individual wires between two LCD ribbon cables. That's a total of 68 individual soldering points. No small feat. And that's when Jelly Belly Customs enters the picture. Both Elliot and JBC work together to make a kit that would allow us mere mortals the ability to easily make a dual screen SP of our own, and that's what I'll be covering in this video. So as usual, I'm going to go over all the parts of this really unique kit, as well as some of the other items needed to complete the mod. I'll show you how this thing is put together, and lastly provide you with my overall thoughts and what I think of the dual screen SP. Now unfortunately, you cannot buy this kit anymore. It went on sale around November of 2020 and was limited to only, I think it was about 50 units. It costs around 30 British pounds, which is the equivalent of 40 US dollars. And to me, I think that's an absolute bargain given its rarity and the extreme uniqueness of this mod. So let's dive right in and go over what comes in this kit. First thing is this 3D printed upper half of the SP shell. This will obviously house the two Game Boy Advance SP LCD screens. This was available in black, shown here, white, and gray. I opted for the black because I have a spare black SP to go with it. Inside you can see some double-sided tape which will be used to secure the custom PCB, and the other side which is used to secure the front fascia to the console itself. The 3D print is top-notch, which is great because I wasn't planning on painting it. I think it'll look really awesome as is. Next is the custom PCB. This is what makes the mod so easy. You connect the two LCD ribbon cables to the top two connectors, and then a custom ribbon cable on the bottom connector, which then goes to the SP motherboard. Now, this part is really cool. Silk screened on the PCB is a quote from Elliot, which was taken from his episode on the dual screen SP, and it states,
"Today, we're going to be giving the Game Boy Advance SP another screen. For no reason."
I thought that was a really awesome touch to the PCB, and even cooler is the fact that it's also signed by Elliot with a written thank you and smiley face. How great is that? Now here you can see Jelly Belly's branding and website, so definitely be sure to also check them out. Next is a ribbon cable. Now this ribbon cable is unique in that it has these hand-cut slits which will help allow the cable to pass through the bottom SP shell. It's a pretty ingenious solution if you ask me. And last but not least is the Retro Future postcard, which is also signed and numbered by Elliot himself. Again, I think this is a really nice touch. You can see here that my kit is number 22, presumably of 50 units. On the back is the Retro Future's website and Instagram handle, so be sure to check those out. Okay, that's everything in the kit. However, I'm going to need a few additional items in order to complete this mod. Of course, I'll need a donor SP console. So I have this black SP, which is great because it'll color match the 3D printed shell fairly well. In addition, I'll be using two AGS001 LCD panels that I had lying around since I've done a few IPS mods. Now, this mod will only work with the AGS001 screen. This will not work with an AGS101 or IPS screens, unfortunately, most likely due to the additional power draw that those screens require. Next, I'll need this. This part of the SP shell will be used to secure the second LCD in place. We'll need to modify it slightly so that it fits into the 3D printed shell. Great, so that's everything I'll be using for this mod, and without any further ado, let's roll the montage. So this was a pretty easy process, very much thanks to Jelly Belly Customs and their unique approach to this build. Now, as you can tell, there really isn't any benefit to installing a kit like this on the SP. I mean, one could argue that it makes the console unwieldy. The extra screen makes the unit a bit top heavy, and also when you fold it over, there's a little bit of an overhang. But really, that isn't the point at all. This kit exists simply because it can, and that's why it's so awesome. Even though I said there isn't really a benefit of this kit, that isn't entirely true. This mod turns the SP into a real conversation piece. It has a great story behind it, and it just has this presence and extremely striking visual impact. I mean, just look at it. It begs to be talked about. All I have to say is I'm really glad to own this. It may not be the most practical mod, but I see it more as functional art. It retains all the original functionality of the SP in this ridiculously awesome, strange, unique, whichever adjective you want to use, form factor. And for that very reason, I'm glad that it exists. Well, there you have it, guys. The Dual Boy SP from Elliot of the Retro Future and Jelly Belly Customs. What do you all think? If these were to somehow go on sale again, would you buy one? Maybe if there's enough interest, there could be a potential second run of these. Who knows? In the meantime, let me know your thoughts about the Dual Boy SP in the comments section below. Oh, and if you're not already subscribed to the Retro Future, what the heck are you doing? Head over there now and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out all the very cool wares that Jelly Belly is making. They also have some really awesome, fully refurbished, rare Game Gear variants for sale, amongst other things, so definitely give them a look. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Macho Nacho Productions. I release content every Thursday, so be sure to turn on notifications. And as always, see you next time.